In this video, I'll be showing you what happened throughout the whole week. What are the trades that I took, the losses and the profit that I made throughout the week. So let's go through the trade that I took throughout the whole week and what are the results I got and what is the current situation of the account right now. After the last trade that I took on Friday, the trade it me out on break even on Monday, and that was the first thing that happened on Monday. The trade was this: after I saw price rejecting this market structure here on the 1 hour time frame, I put in on that trade at that point. Then I was expecting price to kick me out at this level here. So that day went that way. Nothing happened on that Friday. Not until Monday when I woke up, I was seeing market ranging up and down. This level here that I entered the trade was tested twice before dropping. So immediately I saw price rejecting this level here. I was thinking this level here is going to hold the price. That was why I put the trade on break even immediately, and I was stopped out on break even. That was what happened there. Then after that, I was expecting price to either break that level or break this one up here for me to go in for a buy, or probably for me to go in for a sell. Price later broke away from that level there. And before I moved on, you can see this was the break even that I hit on that Friday. I entered the trade on Friday, you can see, and I was out on Monday. That was I have the break even there on Monday. So on Tuesday, this is what happened on Tuesday. I entered this trade on Tuesday and I was very concerned about price pulling back into this market structure. That was why I put my stop loss away from that level, at least some pips away from that level in case of any pullback. The following day, I woke up and I saw price really dipping into the market structure. But later, price closed above the market structure. I had already written off this trade actually, but when price got to this level here, this supply level here, price started dropping. I was like, oh, thank God. Price just melted down from that particular level. So continuously, price go beyond what I was expecting. Then one thing that I failed to realize was that this push here that caused that pullback, that caused this pullback here, was triggered with this demand level here, this order block here. That was what I failed to realize, what really caused this. So I was really concerned about my trade not being stopped out. I didn't even care about what really caused this push. And this candlestick here was responsible for this push. So that was why I was very careful. After price pushed back into that level again, I closed the trade immediately. You can see this is where I closed the trade because I don't want this to happen again. Price didn't get to this market structure that I was expecting price to get to, but I was really concerned about this other block here, which is a very strong candlestick that can cause price to change direction. That was why I closed this trade from that angle. And that's the profit that I made there. I think I made something, not much on that trade. I think yes, $19 on that trade. After closing that trade, I adjusted this market structure to fit in very well on the H4. So price, I was waiting for price to either close above it or to close below that level for me to go in for a buy or for a sell. Then after that, market really closed very massively. And this is one thing that I always try as much as possible to avoid when going into the market. I don't want to go in when big candlestick like this appears, because there's a tendency there will be some kind of pullback before market will actually go in that direction. That was why I stayed out of this trade. This whole candle here is about 40 pips. I don't want to go in like that. I want to see a pullback because I will still need to put my stop loss below this level here. So, but when I was waiting on that, I saw an opportunity on gold for me to take. Price broke this bullish trend line here. Price broke that level and I put in for a sell immediately. I think I entered the 0.01 twice on this trade. Then I was looking at this market level here. Once price gets to this level here, I closed that trade immediately. And that was what gave me this 12.72, this 12.72 here. If we can look at it, let me go back to my Notion. I have it here. Yes, 12.72. You can see I entered two trade there. 0.01 twice. One gave me 5.99. The other one gave me 6.72. That was what I did there. So then this was the first GPUSD trade, 19.03. I failed to enter a position here, which was very painful though. After price got to this level here and this pushed upon, I was really expecting price to come into a fib level here before I joined the market, but I wasn't on the system then. I missed out on that That was when I pull out this market structure. Like if price should close above this market structure, I will go in for a buy and I'll be looking at price reaction at this market level here, this H4 market structure up here. If price should reject this level, or probably when price get there, I will close the trade immediately and just wait. If price should close above it, I will go in for a buy. And if price should reject it, I will go in for a sell. That was my whole intention. I just want to catch this movement from this point here to this point here. That was what I intended to do at that level. Then look at it. After going on that trade, I only had two options, which I believe market would do one of these. So I was thinking about this level here to be retested, then bounce off. Then if this level failed to hold the price, then this demand level here is my last option, which I believe price will get there and bounce off. If price could make it to that level, it's going to get there and bounce up. But I was really, rooting for this market structure here. Then look at what the market did. Price respected that level, then bounced off immediately. Not actually immediately, like it took about 4 to 5 hours before that happened though. Then once it gets to this level here, I closed the trade. That was what gave me this 16.30 there. Then after that, price really got here. I was really expecting price to either close below this H4 market structure or close above it for me to go in once again for a buy or a sell. That was what I was waiting for. You can see then that day 16.3 was the profit that I made for that day. You can see for that Wednesday 16.3, and that was it there. Then the next thing that happened on Thursday, which was yesterday, was on gold. But before I move to gold, you can see the massive movement that GPUSD actually did. So all my expectation here was that price will go to this daily market structure here. My expectation then was that, okay, since price took out the H4 market structure, this daily market structure should be the next point at which price would drop. But that didn't happen the way I was expecting it. Price broke that level aggressively. So I left it that way, okay? Let it do whatever it needs to do. I'll be waiting for the pullback before I go in. Then I moved my attention to gold. And this is what really happened on gold. I made a very silly mistake here, but have learned very, very, very hard on it. So what I did was that I saw this demand level here, but my rule says I should always wait for price to give me confirmation before I go into the trade. But what I did there was that I didn't wait for the confirmation. I just saw rejection candle and I jumped into the trade immediately. I entered the trade after price rejected this level here. Then expecting price to push to this next high here. Then I put my stop loss below that level. But that didn't go the way I was really planning it. Price broke that level aggressively and I was stopped out. So the rules that I'm currently following with this account is that once I'm able to make 2% above the initial capital, I'll be risking 2%. That's the rule. And if you look at it from this area here, the equity on that account is $2,583. So the 83 on it is beyond the 2%. That was where I was trying to risk 2% on the next trade, and that didn't go well. I didn't even later risk up to 1.5%, but my intention was that I want to risk 2%, but I didn't later risk up to 2%, and that's fine. And if you look at the equity right now, I'm still above the 2%. I can still take a risk of 2% on the next trade. That is what I'm currently waiting for. So the overall trade for the week is not really that bad, but it's not what I'm really expecting though. So let's see what will happen to this account by next week. That is all I have for this week. Thanks for following my journey to this extent, and let's see what next week is going to bring for me. I hope I pass this account by next week, and thanks for staying this long with me. If you find any value in this video, kindly subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and most importantly, turn on your notification bell. Thanks for staying this long. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.